Hello again, everybody. Todd Michael Putnam here, and just bringing another build this week. I'm actually going to be running a one-shot instead of my regular campaign. Some of the folks couldn't make it for the regular campaign, which is okay because I've also been needing to beta test a little side project that I'm working on with some homebrew rules that I've been doing, and so this will be an opportunity to do that. So I created a one-shot to run that particular beta test. And in this particular adventure for the one shot, the characters are going to come down this road for this town here, and they are going to be met with whispers and cynicism and things like that. Most of the people on the street don't want to talk to them, and there's not that many people on the street to begin with. And the super short version of it is when they get to these guys over here, they're going to see guards in front of this fancy looking manor house where the noble Lord Larian. That's right, from Larian Games. I took the name from Larian Games because they're awesome. Lord Larian had been throwing a party that night with all kinds of guests after acting strangely for many, many months. And then in the middle of the night, while the party was going on, there were sudden screams, terrible, horrifying screams. And when the guards rushed in to see what's going on, there was just an absolute slaughter. So the guards had been posted outside. The ones that went inside, the commanding officer that went inside and his lieutenants and whatnot, they have not returned since that night when they went in several hours earlier. And so the guard who's left standing there beseeches the players to go in and find out what the cause of all the screams was, and if they can find his master. He turned around and saw, when he opened up the door and peeked in, a slaughter, and decided this was beyond him and his men, and he needs someone of greater fortitude than himself. So when the players get in, they will come and they will see this mess right here. They will see all kinds of bodies of former partygoers that have been slaughtered all throughout Lord Larian's manor house. Just looks like people who are slaughtered in the midst of a party of some kind. Up in the upper chambers, Lady Noelle, who is Lord Larian's wife, is laying on the bed. She too has succumbed to wounds from whoever it was that committed this dastardly deed. At the foot of the bed, there is her manservant who died nobly with a kitchen knife in hand, trying to defend her against whatever it was that committed this horrific deed. If the players search this desk over here, they'll find the personal diary of Lady Noelle herself, talking about how Lord Larian has been receiving guests late at night, and they go down into the wine cellar and they talk for endless hours, and she's not allowed to hear it. And he's been growing more and more dour and rude and difficult to deal with as time goes on. But then suddenly, last week, he said he wanted to throw a party, and he seemed like he'd returned to his own self again. And she couldn't wait for things to return back to normal. But of course, this was the party that was thrown, and this horrible deed has taken place. This mass slaughter of her friends and herself. So the players then know that they want to go down into the wine cellar itself, and that door right there, which will lead them into this area. They come down these stairs, and of course, there's wine cellar. There's various stocks and food that are there. If the players go by, it's not hard as they're searching the room. They will have a cool air they can feel coming from from the wall next to where this particular torch that I'm focused on is. And if they just pull on the sconce of that torch, a secret door will indeed open up. And when they go inside, they will find the bodies of 3 of the guards, including the commander. They have been slaughtered in what appears to be like a secondary storage room, which has just been ramshackled. There's just stuff all over the place, but the guards themselves have been slain, including the commander. Their weapons still lying about, and there's also this huge set of double doors that goes somewhere. So if they can search through the guards and find what they find there, when they come through, they will come to this room, which appears to be like a makeshift alchemy room. And there'll be some various potions that are unmarked that they can play with that have different types of effects, and they will have to deal with what those are, assuming they take them. If they don't take them, then that's fine too. But there'll be various potions there for them to take. They will also see a small treasure chest, which is open, which has a small amount of gold in it, and gems and jewelry and rings and things like that. When they open the next door, they will come to here, the Chamber of Sorrows. In the Chamber of Sorrows, we'll see that someone has converted this room to a torture chamber, and two of the guests have been brought to this room. Former guests of the party upstairs have been brought to this room, and they're being horribly tortured by, of course, cultists who are trying to either extract information from them or what. They're not sure. The players aren't sure what happens or why they're doing what they're doing, but they're certain that they're being tortured. Of course, the cultists will immediately turn on the players and begin to attack them and try and kill them after they try and actually slay the people they've been torturing. So apparently they do not want the characters to find out what it is they've been asking, and so their first action is to actually slay the people they've been torturing and then turn that on to the players. Once they have, hopefully the characters have dealt with them, they will head down into this room here. There will be an altar, very strange and eerie altar. Oops, I'm missing a piece, but that's okay. There'll be a strange and eerie altar that's there that they can pray to, and may or may not have certain effects, but probably most likely they will want to desecrate it or destroy it. And there will be a trapdoor with stairs going down. And if they open that trapdoor and go to the stairs going down, that's when they see a natural set of staircases going down here and that way into a natural cavern. And this natural cavern is filled with all kinds of scary carrion crawlers. Love those guys, all the way back from Basic Edition. They're some of my favorite monsters. So they'll have this whole area filled with carrion crawlers. They have to work their way through them. If they go and do some exploring in other areas, they might find some bodies of two more of the guards who had gone inside, who made it a little bit farther. They will also have weapons and armor and things of value on them. One is protected by yet another carrion crawler that's chewing on the body. Another one is a gelatinous cube that's going to come up from out of the water and attack them if they go after the body and the weapon that he has, which appears to be magical for some reason. Again, this is just a beta test. It's of some rule sets that I've got going on. Once they work their way past these creatures, they come into this room, into another larger set of a greater cavern, and there will be ghasts in there to deal with. And they will have to fight their way through them. And then finally, once they make it past through that, they will come into this chamber here where they will see that Lord Larian himself has actually become one of the cultists, one of the lead cultists to it. And they are sacrificing some of the members of the party. Members of his party from upstairs, or attempting to convert them to his religion of the domain of death. And there'll be an ogre zombie there and cultists, and then Lord Larian himself will have his own magical abilities that he can do. And there's a number of the servant girls that have been taken, and the idea for them is they're going to try and brainwash them so they can send them out later on and try and lure other victims into his death cult. And then last but not least, pull the torch on that last sconce there, and this flips open and brings to the treasure chamber with a secret door, and the players have their reward for all their hard work. So just a couple quick notes about the setup. We'll do a pan back here real quick so you can see the whole setup here. The houses are from Zitterdis, Ziterdes. You can find them on eBay, or they have I think it's zitterdis.com. The mats are from either Deep Cut Studios or Warzone Studios. I usually get most of them from there, or from Lucas Schmidt Playmat on eBay. Do a search for Lucas Schmidt, SCHMIDT Playmat on eBay, and he's got a bunch of those. These are just the standard original tile sets for Dwarven Forge Caverns. The stalagmites and stalactites here came from the Skyless Realms Kickstarter, and they just had them painted up so that they would match the Dwarven Forge. Those came out fantastic. So that adds to that. And then, of course, that's just the standard Dwarven Forge standard Dwarven Forge classic tile set for dungeons, but also mixed in with the Temple of Doom tile set as well. The ones that have those little red bars coming up on the side that look a little fancier, those are from Dungeons of Doom. The ones like this one in the center there, that's just your standard Dwarven Forge tile set. This one right here is from the Chamber of Sorrows, also from Dwarven Forge. I've been looking forward to using this for a while now, and I figured this would be a good opportunity. So that's where that came from. And this big piece up here is also from Zitterdres. Again, ZITEDRES.com. And this is just one big hard foam piece that's the inside of a building. Just pop it in there and populate it with whatever you want. And in this case, a manor house that's had a horrific crime taking place, and you're ready to roll. The holding it up, I am having what are those things called again? There's Axe and Shield that makes a set of these things. But that's not what I have. I have Combat Tiers. Tactics, I think it is. Tinkered Tactics Combat Tiers. That's what it is. Tinkered Tactics Combat Tiers. Because this piece is so light, it doesn't really need, it doesn't weigh hardly anything. I can just set those up underneath and make it be a multi-dimensional map using that. And then holding up the other section here is literally just stacked 22-ounce clear plastic glasses. Just enough to give it that extra depth for it. And that's basically it. That's how it got all put together and what the real quick 911 on the storyline is for a one-shot. So hope you enjoyed it and hope you got some ideas or some inspiration. Always love to see what you guys come up with on the page. So thank you so much for watching, and you guys take care. Bye.